Hello and welcome to this card making video. Today I'm going to show you how I made this Fintastic Friends cards using the Lawn Fawn stamp set Fintastic Friends. I started by stamping out a fishbowl in some Memento tuxedo because I'm going to color them in with my Spectrum Noir alcohol markers. I'm stamping the fish and the little water plant inside the fishbowl, but if you want to, you can also stamp them separately, die cut them out and glue them into the fishbowl later on. But I like this effect better on this card. The goldfish I colored in with the Spectrum Noir markers GB5 and CT4. And I laid the darkest color around the edges and where I think the shades should be, and then I picked the lightest marker and I colored the fish in, dragging the darker color into the inside. For the water plant I used the two colors CG1 and CG2, these are the citrus greens, and I did it a bit of messy because I like the look that gave, and water plants I think are not really neat, or they don't need to be very neat. The scent on the bottom of the fishbowl I colored in with the EB1 and EB2, and laying the shadows in both corners of the image, giving the impression that the fishbowl is round. The bottom part I colored in with the IG1 and IG2, and also putting the shades in the corners. Just to leave the top not completely white, I did an even layer of IG1 on the top. And for the water in the fishbowl, I took only one color. I didn't do shading in this one. It's the TB1. It's the lightest blue color. But when you go over your image multiple times with the same color marker, you can get a different color intensity. So I'm doing this as well on the sides and on the top of the water layer, just to give it some kind of shading. And then with a white gel pen I gave some little more interest to the scent by tipping over slightly the black spots in the image. And then I'm die cutting them out of camera. So there he is. And then I can work on the background of my card. For this I use some postcard note, which I bought at a local store. And I'm going to use these two stamps that I made myself. I cut these circles from some craft foam and glued them to a little wooden stick so I can hold them better. And I stamped them with some distress ink, Mermaid Lagoon. And I do it multiple generations because I think that gives a really nice background look. Okay, so when you're happy with the look these large bubbles give you, then I move on to a smaller circle stamp that I made, and I'm going to do the same technique, but then using the Lawn Fawn ink Mermaid. And this ink is not really well suited for stamping multiple generations, so I have to re-ink it more often, but that's okay, of course. Okay, so then when you're happy with the look, then it's finished. For my card base I'm using a dark blue piece of cardstock, which I trimmed down to an A5 size. Then if you fold them over it turns into A6, which is a standard card in the Netherlands. And I'm gonna trim off a little bit of the sides of my background paper. And I'm counting these little inch stripes, and apologies that I don't know what they are called, but I count 3 on each side, so you get a nice small layer around that you can still see your card from. So for the first one I count 3, and then when you do the second part you count 6, and then you have 3 on both sides, and I also do it on the longer sides of this card. Okay, then that's completed. The fishbowl is completed, so we can move on to the place where the sentiment will be stamped. And for this I cut down a strip of paper about 1 inch high, and I'm gonna use some foam blending tools to give it some color. And the inks I'm using for this are mermaid lagoon and peacock feathers. And with peacock feathers I do the largest part of the strip, and then the edges I'm gonna accentuate a little bit with the mermaid lagoon to better match the background of the dots that we made. And it's not supposed to look very neat, because it's matching this dotted background, so you can see a little bit the stroke of the foam. That's okay. Okay, so then I'm going to use the phrase "you're Fintastic," which I found really funny, and I'm gonna stamp it with a black licorice ink from Lawn Fawn. Just line it up and stamp down straight up. Okay. Now to embellish the card a little bit more, I'm going to use 2 washi tapes that I found at a local store in the Netherlands. So I apologize that I cannot give you the exact location where to buy them, but just the 2 blue ones you like, they will be perfectly fit as well. And I'm lining them up with the side of the card, which is straight, so then you will have a straight taped washi tape. And fold over the edges to secure that they will not curl away after some time. Okay. And now I'm placing the bow washi tape next to it. Okay, and then it's time to assemble the card. I'm using some liquid glue to glue down this background paper, because it gives you some time or some wiggle room to make sure that it's completely straight as you'd like it. Always checking that the opening of the card is on the right, and I'm gluing down the panel. Okay, and then I'm going to take some foam tape to give a little bit more dimension to the fishbowl. And put it in place. What I didn't show on this video is that you can also take some Wink of Stella to enhance the shininess of the goldfish and the water plant, but I forgot to film it. And then also some foam tape behind the sentiment to pop it up. Okay, and that completes the project for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you got inspired to try it out for yourself sometimes. Bye bye!